Guys, this is the part of the stream where I do my spooky improv story. And today's prompt is Eyes and Heads. The prompt by Ghosty Lazy. Thank you, Ghosty Lazy, for the prompt. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Once upon a time, there was a little boy called Terry. And Terry was a bit of a silly boy. He'd often play pranks on his friends. He watched way too much Home Alone movies. He literally watched Home Alone movies on repeat because he absolutely loved the pranks in those movies. And he decided to recreate them. So he put paint cans attached to string above his friend's stairs, which would hit his friends in the face. He'd leave out mouse traps and cars on the floors for his friends to slip on and get caught in. He even left a fork sticking out of a socket outlet once, and his friend tripped over it and got electrocuted. I don't think that's a trap in Home Alone, but nonetheless. And Terry just seemed to take it a bit too far. And one day, he decided, I'm going to do the most epic prank of the century. And his prank was essentially, he was going to prank his two friends at once. Because he pranked his friends occasionally, separately, on different days. You know, every so often, he didn't do it all the time. He wasn't an absolute menace, but he got an idea about how to make himself an absolute menace. So he invited his friends Mick and Daniel over for some Sunday lunch one day. Mick and Daniel said to Terry, "This is so nice of you, Terry, but what's the big deal? You've never invited us over for Sunday lunch before." "Oh, don't worry, nothing's up. I just wanted to see how you guys were doing." "Right, you guys stay here." They were in the living room. "You guys stay here and I'll go check on how the food is going in the kitchen." Because although Terry was a little boy, he was also a cook. He watched a lot of The Great British Bake Off, and he learnt a thing or two. But again, he also watched a lot of Home Alone movies and prank videos. So put two and two together. He went into the kitchen and he brought out of the oven what seemed like your average casserole. He cut it into 3 portions. I mean, I guess it would be 4 portions, but he just took out 3 portions because there were 3 of them. He cut out 3 portions for himself and his friends, and he put them on the table. "Right, dinner's ready," said Terry. His friends came in, and they had some juice, like little apple juice boxes, and they had a nice casserole. "Oh yeah, no, this casserole, my mum made it. She left it out for us to reheat when we came home." "Oh, it looks really nice," said Mick. "Yeah, it looks scrummy," said Daniel. "Well, eat up. Nothing's stopping you from eating it." And one by one, Mick and Daniel start eating their fill. A few minutes pass, and Terry hasn't touched his plate. He's just staring around the plate as if waiting for something to happen. He's tapping on the plate with his fork, as if to the rhythm of a clock. Then all of a sudden, he hears a He looks up, and he sees that Daniel's eyes have started to bleed. He looks over at... Who did I just say? He looks over at Mick. I forgot who I said. He looks over at Mick. Mick's head has started to bulge. Mick and Daniel, both their eyes and their head started to bloat and bleed and seethe a greeny, orangey pus. Does it taste good? Said Terry. Terry, what have you done to us? Said Daniel, speaking out of his blurted lips. Terry, what have you done to my eyes? Mick said. Well, you guys didn't seem to like my pranks, and they were getting quite boring. And, you know, I've never killed anyone before, so I thought it would be quite fun to see what it would be like to experiment on you two. What did you do? What did you put in the food? Oh, I just put in some poison and some, you know, some nuts and some, what was it? I put in some crawfish. Mick and Daniel look at each other and look back at Terry. We're allergic to nuts. I'm allergic to crawfish. So not only had they been poisoned, but Terry had put in the exact ingredients that they were allergic to into the casserole. Yeah, well, you guys have been avoiding me a lot recently, and I don't know why. You know, because I think my pranks are pretty funny, honestly. But you guys just can't seem to see the fun of it, so I figured I'd find some new friends. How about it? And you guys can find some new friends in the afterlife, huh? How does that sound? Mick's head slams on the table, blood spilling from his eyes and head. Daniel follows suit, except this time he crumples onto the floor beside his chair. As he hits the ground, his head splits open and an explosion of blood like a watermelon dropped from a building. Oh, did you guys really have to make a mess? Said Terry. My mum's gonna have to clean this up, you know. Well, I guess I'll get started. So he gets out his mop and his bucket, and he starts cleaning up the mud and the blood and the guts from his friends' eyes and head. And he pushes their bodies against the wall with the mop so that everything's nice and tidy. Well, you know what they say. Treat your enemies... No, wait. Keep your friends close. Keep your enemies even closer. The end. I don't know how to end that. But Mick and Daniel were never seen ever again. And you want to know how I know that it's a real story? Because it is a real story. Don't get me wrong, it is. I am Terry's mother. And I made that casserole. But that little piece of shit Terry fucking put crawfish and nuts and poison in it. And I was looking forward to eating that when I got home. That little piece of shit. Gonna have to make some fucking stir fry now. To be fair, I do like stir fries. No, that's fine then. Yeah, that was my story. We did it! I didn't really know how to end that story. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ghosty Lazy, for the prompt. That was fun. I didn't really know how to go about that, but to be honest, halfway, for some reason, I started to worry it would be a D's nuts joke. Thankfully, no. I'm not smart enough to think of a joke on the spot. I struggled to even think of the saying, keep your friends close and your enemies even closer. And I don't even know why I said that. It's because I didn't know what else to say, okay?